$1 million, mostly on the abject lie that the election was stolen from him. So is that where he's spending this money? John Avlon with a reality check.
Yeah, America's battle against the virus continues. Not just the Delta variant, but the virus of lies that continues to course through our country. From attempts to deflect blame from the January 6th attack to almost daily disinformation about the COVID vaccine. And if you're looking for a reason why these lies are so contagious among Republican elites, don't look for logic. Just follow the money. Because ex-President Donald Trump has built up a war chest of more than $100 million. But as with all things Trump, it's not quite what it seems. I'm not even talking about how he inflated his totals for the first half of the year. No, I'm talking about how it's evidence of the grift that goes on, even as Trump cows Republicans into staying in an abusive relationship. Because for all the fundraising over non-existent mass voter fraud, Trump has spent no money on the fruitless fraudits that continue to keep the big lie alive in the heart of his hardcore supporters. Quote, "The president deceived his donors," a former FEC official told The Guardian. He asked them to give money so he could contest the election results, but then he spent their contributions to pay off unrelated debts. He's not going to waste his money on what Arizona Republican Jack Sellers recently called an adventure in Never Never Land. No, he wants his small dollar and dark money minions to do that, while he fights for the umpteenth time the release of his tax returns, while still somehow charging taxpayers $10,000 a month for secret service rooms at his hotels. Now, PACs are generally supposed to support like-minded candidates, but Trump's special election endorsements didn't see a dime from him for weeks after his endorsement, too late to save Susan Wright in a Texas special election. But even with insanely coercive joint fundraising appeals, like the RNC warning donors that if they uncheck a recurring donation box, quote, "we will have to tell Trump you're a defector." Wow. Trump's Make America Great Again committee saw a decline from 13.8 million in January to 2.6 million in June. Almost all of that due to those recurring donations, the New York Times found. It's not like he's winning new converts with all his seditious lies. But the GOP is caught in a trap. They fear they can't win primaries without him, and yet they can't win general elections with him. That's because he's still massively popular with the base, but really unpopular with the American people. Get this. A mid-July AP NRC poll, Trump had a 76% approval rating from Republicans, but just 37% among all Americans. And an April NBC poll broke it down further, with just 21% of Americans say they have a very positive view of Trump, while another 11% said they had a somewhat positive view. Trump's money haul succeeds in freezing the field and keeping all the attention on him and his talk about a possible 2024 run. So other ambitious GOP aspirants seem to have retreated to a strategy of trying to suck up to Trump in the hopes that if he doesn't run, they'll benefit from his endorsement. This is lunacy. Combined, loyalty with Donald Trump is a one-way street, folks. George P. Bush sold out his family to kiss the ring and still got stuck with the shiv. Rudy Giuliani ruined his reputation peddling Trump's lies. And even with all Trump's cash on hand, he still can't get his legal fees paid. And despite all that, the GOP remains cowering in the wings, willing to undermine democracy in a desperate search for a bully's approval. It ain't going to happen. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Republicans will still be stuck in this repeat cycle until they learn the key lesson expressed in Phil Rucker and Karen Leonig's new book. Most of Trump's failings, they say, can be explained by a simple truth. He cares more about himself than the country. And that's your reality check.
You know, cheap and dishonest, I should say, don't always go hand in hand, but when they do, it's a doozy.
Quite a doozy.
Yeah. Right, John. Thank you very much.
Bigger.
And there is some heavy rainfall that is expected in the Gulf and southeast coast.